Hello, everyone.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Dr. Dave. This is Dr. Abby, and we're here to read this week's blog and make it into a vlog. So, tonight's exciting episode is entitled
A Day in the Life of the Confused at Paragon.
Oh my goodness.
So again, I'm reading these. These are Dr. Dave's blogs. He'll be chiming in with color commentary as we go along. So, a few months ago, my son Austin showed me this interesting hierarchy. It goes, first is behavior, second, nutrition, third, supplementation, fourth, medication. This list shows the most effective therapy method to the least effective, 1 through 4. In looking at this, we see that the first and most effective line of therapy is behavioral modification. In other words, lifestyle changes. Where have you heard that?
Yeah, always.
Obviously, behavioral changes are not for someone experiencing an acute medical emergency, but rather for those who are experiencing chronic ailments or those types of conditions that seem to constantly come and go, or when a person has some type of condition, health or otherwise, that they would like to change.
Yeah, if you've got some acute thing going on, you're having a heart attack, obviously you probably shouldn't have eaten so much birthday cake and drank so much Jack Daniels, but you probably ought to get to the hospital. So eventually you'll change your behavior, hopefully, but emergency things are emergency things. This hierarchy is the most effective way to change those chronic conditions. The absolute most will always be behavioral changes. The top or the least effective is medication.
Basically, a person should stop harming himself and see if this corrects the situation. Let's say you hurt your back. What would you do? Paragon patients better say, I would ice, not stretch or use heat, take short walks, and call Paragon if these strategies were ineffective. LOL.
Exactly. So, yeah, you Paragon patients out there, it's like, hurt my back. Oh, yeah. I would not heat. I'd ice. I'd go for short walks, stay out of the recliner. And if that didn't work, then I'd call Dr. Dave. And if I couldn't get Dr. Dave, then I guess I'd have to settle for his underling, Dr. Abby.
Right. A person would stop doing those things that are worsening his condition and employ corrective strategies and do so until such time as that person can begin to resume his or her typical activities of daily living, initially on a gradient scale and in time, full speed. What do you suppose most people do? If you guessed number 4, medication, you probably guessed right. It's interesting as most people who come to see us with some type of injury will usually report that either pills didn't work or they know they can't just keep taking them. But what is the person trying to do with the pills?
Yeah, this is an important thing. So usually that's what people will do first, is if they've got an ache or pain, they grab the pills to see if it'll make the ache or pain go away. But the ache or pain is really telltale of something not so good.
Yeah.
Continue, Dr. Abby.
Pain is the body's way of saying, hey, dumbass, please stop hurting me.
Exactly.
Please don't be offended. Dumbass is my pet name for myself.
I bet I've been called dumbass definitely more than I've been called Dr. Dave, and definitely more than Dave.
In fact, pain is an indicator that the organism, that being your body, is in the process of succumbing and heading in the direction of death. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's heavy. And it's like, oh no, it's just pain. No. That is telling you, that is your body's way of saying, we are not making it. Yeah. This is not good. Whatever you're doing is not helping. It is lessening our chances of survival. Yeah. So you can see where you'd want to shut that off and just ignore that, right?
And I actually realized I missed a sentence. So it says, but what is the person trying to do with the pills? Cut a vital communication line. Yeah. So what the pills are doing is it's just shutting off that part of the brain that's saying pain, 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 while you're not actually resolving or getting the root cause of it. You're just shutting off your body's alarm system and its warning system, which, you can only do so long before your body actually does something big and grand to make you listen, which, I always kind of tell patients that if you listen to your body when it starts whispering at you, you won't have to sit down and really take the lesson when it absolutely just caves the door in on you.
That's a good way to put it.
Let's say this is not a pro-survival tone level, and it is certainly not a warning that a person wants to quiet simply because, well, it hurts. One should take a look and change their behavior so as to stop injuring themselves, stop the destructive behavior, and the pain will subside, or possibly even go away. The organism, that being the body, will begin to survive better, and everyone should be happy again. Man, this strategy can be applied anywhere in a person's life.
Yeah, think about it. It's like, oh, this is painful. This is harming me. This is injuring me. I know what that feels like. Stop it. Just stop it. Do something else.
Yeah.
Find something else to do. And this is usually where people want to explain to me, well, I just have to, then get a gun and shoot yourself in the head. Get to the point. Don't sit there and die by 1,000 cuts. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's like you need to stop the thing that is harming you. And you can explain to me, you can explain to yourself or anybody how it's not, but you don't have to have that conversation with us. Tell your body that it's not harming you. When your liver's failing, the kidneys are blowing up, your heart's blowing out of the top of your head, your eyeballs are squishing out, and everything else. Explain to it that everything's okay.
And this may seem heavy coming from Dr. Dave, but I will tell you, we have seen the rerun over and over and over again, where you see the warning signs, you see the whispers, and the patient does, or the person, your family member, whatever, just doesn't listen. And then it's, there's always this fallback that, oh, medicine will fix it. I've yet to see that work 100% of the time.
And why not? Let's go back to our hierarchy, because behavioral change is the number one most effective, and medication is the least effective way. Mm-hmm. So you've got behavior, you've got nutrition, then supplements, then medication.
And oddly enough, the only way nutrition, supplements, or medication work is if one works at changing his lifestyle.
I'll be darned.
It's funny how interested people are in making themselves as bulletproof as possible from the effects of stupidity, but aren't that interested in discontinuing being stupid.
Oh my God, don't get me started with this. And this is when I wrote that, I just died laughing, because that's it. They want to bulletproof themselves from the effects of stupidity, but they absolutely do not want to change the stupidity. And we've hit a point. Look around around you, man. You think, oh, Dr. Dave's getting all carried away here? No, the stupidity has to stop, or it will stop you. It's really that simple.
Yeah. Sadly, it appears that when a person has tried everything except to stop injuring themselves, they are prepared to sacrifice themselves on the altar of the surgeon.
Save me.
All too often, people will say, well, I guess I'll just go get surgery. Good luck. This idea that when all else fails, I must be a surgical case is just about suicide, in my opinion.
It is.
The success of any surgery is based firstly upon actually being a surgical candidate. Secondly, and here it comes, having made those behavioral changes that will allow a person to recover and not continue to cause the problem. A person has to be able to heal.
Amazing. So, yeah. Oh, nothing seems to work for me because, well, whatever. So I'll just go get surgery. And first of all, you actually have to be a candidate for that surgery. Oh, you can find anybody to stick a knife in you and rip something out of you. That's fine. But are you? The number one cause of failed back, believe it or not, this is gonna floor you. The studies and research are showing is where back surgeries were performed on people that didn't need back surgery. And it didn't work, and it messed them up, and now they have a failed back situation.
And, kind of parlaying on that, the reason why we work with the surgeons that we work with is because they will only operate on a surgical candidate.
How about that?
You're checking all of the boxes that, we go in, we do this, you're going to, heal and feel better. I really am getting tired of this, oh, well, all else has failed, let's cut you open and see.
We'll take a look and see. That's a recipe for failure. There are true surgical cases.
Absolutely.
And where they are, guess what?
Yeah.
Surgery seems to work.
Yeah, and don't think we're, poo-pawing certain.
No.
We have begged patients to get on prescriptions, to, get a surgery, and they have all been better off for it, because there is a time and a place for everything.
Exactly.
But it should not be your first line of defense.
Behavioral changes.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Where were we? Okay, in our office, we will sometimes ask the patient to go to the land of make-believe and pretend that they have just had their magical surgery. Now what? Oh, I'm going to lose weight and start walking more and spending less time at the computer and more time with the people I love and exercising and reading philosophy and start volunteering more and donating money to charity and being a foster parent and going to church more and working to end world hunger and. Wow, those sound like a lot of behavioral or lifestyle changes. Why don't you do some of them now and see what happens? Maybe you won't need surgery.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so that's what we say. So let's pretend like you've had your surgery. Oh, well, I'm not going to sit as much. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start that. And all the, everyone's describing behavioral changes. Why do you need the surgery? Why don't you try the behavioral changes first? Instead of ending world hunger and foster kidding, raising half the kids in outer suburbia or whatever, or something on those lines. Why not make the lifestyle change now and see what happens, instead of after you've had your Zorch torn out?
Okay, always remember that any magic one might experience, regardless of which route they choose when trying to handle their health and well-being, will always depend upon the person's own innate ability to heal and recover, to resolve their own injuries. It's Mother Nature's design. Keep in mind, the surgery itself is an injury a person must recover from. Again, you are magic.
It's a knife wound.
Yeah. And that's one of the basic tenets and philosophies of chiropractic, is that you have this innate ability to heal, recover, adapt, and everything like that. We sometimes just have beaten our bodies so much that it needs a little bit of a helping hand, but that's one of the main tenets and philosophies of chiropractic, which I think is amazing. Next blog, we'll talk some more about changing behaviors and lifestyle modifications. I wish there was a magic wand, but the only hope for any of us has to pay attention. I'm going to say that again. I wish there was a magic wand, but the only hope any of us has is to pay attention to ourselves and to do those things that are the antidote to poor health and death. Live.
Which is living.
Yeah.
There it is. So yeah, that's basically it. So that if you look on the blog, you'll see the actual hierarchy. But once again, the most effective is behavioral changes, then nutritional things. Start eating healthier foods or eliminating the stuff that's messing you up. Third is supplementation, which is vitamins and stuff and things. We'll have patients that come in here and they want a natural alternative to heroin or something to make their pain go away. And that natural alternative to heroin is stop being an idiot. Stop hurting yourself. My goodness, you look at me and it's like, I've been doing this for 37 years. And yes, I've got a smile on my face when I'm saying this, but please stop hurting yourself. Stop harming yourself, and you will feel better. So good. All right. Well, that'll wrap that one up. I'm Dr. Dave. This is Dr. Abby.
And Nala, if you saw her
Nala,
on the frame.
the little puppy. And by the way, I told Dr. Diane I was going to say this, but if anybody's ever interested, they like the blogs and they like things. I'm actually a better public speaker than I am a writer. And so if you belong to a group and you'd like to have some crazy old hippie looking guy melt down like Lewis Black, it is very, it's entertaining. It'll be good. Everybody will say that was a great thing, but I'd be happy to. So I'm available for speeches and lectures and stuff like that. So hooray.
Take care, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.